Darshan, I'm so thrilled and touched to have you on Filme Shilmy today because the film we're talking about is not just a movie, it's a revolution, it's a story that needed to be told. So I think, first of all, congratulations are in order for the Kashmir Files.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I mean, look, it's your career's best performance. And I think it was such a powerful depiction of a very emotionally challenged character. So I think in the process of playing Krishna, what did you discover the most about the genocide throughout the filmmaking process?
I remember my first meeting with Pallavi ji and Vivek ji when they showed me the videos of the real victims. And trust me, it shook me inside out. I'm still getting emotional. So I couldn't utter a word after watching those videos. Then later, Vivek ji gave me the script of the film. And while reading the script, I could imagine and feel the same pain and suffering which I had seen on those videos. Because Vivek ji depicted all those incidents so beautifully in its screenplay and dialogues that I was spellbounded. And they said, we need to cast you. We want you to play this Krishna Pandit as a lead. And we are glad because they saw, Vivek ji saw my last, NH10. He liked it and he said, you should play this role. And I said, without second thought, I said, yes, I'm doing this film. And people should know the truth.
Right. I mean, I'm going to go straight into the process of what you went through. And I read up actually that you actually went into depression whilst playing the role. And I'm really sorry to hear that because I know it can be very distressing. I mean, as a human being, I think just hearing about what the Kashmiri Pandits went through, it is extremely harrowing and it's very, very horrible to even know what happened with them. But what helped you to overcome that depressive sort of period? And how difficult was it to process and I guess cope with that setback almost?
With all due respect to all the professions, I believe acting is the most difficult job in the world. It requires your mental, physical, emotional strength because we have to work really hard to stay under the skin of the character to create a celluloid magic. You can't fake emotions. So that's what I was trying while working on this character. And right from the first day when I started reading the script until the film got over, I don't know how many days I must have slept peacefully. It was horrible. So yeah, then as you said, what helped me, like meditation. I had to take a break for 2 weeks. And I meditated and that helped a lot. Yeah.
Right. Now, I think what I really love about your character, because it represents us, it represents the youth, it represents the common person who, who's aware of a half truth, who's not aware of the full truth. And I think what the character also does, it exposes how the society and youngsters can be misled by conflicting narratives and differing perspectives driven by various agendas. I think your monologue was honestly one of the most powerful scenes of Indian cinema generally I've ever seen. And it was so real. But I think when it comes to this whole, conflicting narratives and differing perspectives driven by agendas, how deep-rooted do you think this issue is within India?
I think we all are so confused with the different narratives. I believe we think 10 times before coming on any conclusion, but truth never comes in front of us. It's always hidden. And that's the same case with Krishna Pandit. He's a college student, today's youth, who is a lonely wolf trying to find the truth. He's frustrated. And that's why the same thing is happening with the audience also. While watching Krishna on screen, they could relate to it. They feel they are there, they are watching it, and they are feeling the same thing. So yeah, it's very painful. It's a brutal truth, and it's heart-wrenching, but that's the reality. So, but we have to I think we have to enlighten ourselves, and we have to work really hard to find the truth, and we have to love each other, spread love, so this world become a better place to live in. So that's what I believe. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. No, very true. And I think, given the influence of social media and the sort of woke society that we live in today, what would you believe would be the right way, I think, to change or to convey the truth as it is? Like how you did in that monologue. What do you think is the right way to deliver truth in today's woke society and generation?
Like I said, you have to think 10 times before coming on any conclusion. You have to enlighten, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to find the truth, and so you have to calm and compose all the time, and you have to spread the love. So that's the only few things. Like we learned, we saw in COVID time, like one virus started from one country and it spread it all over the world. It showed us like we are the one. We have to take care of each other, and that's the most important thing. We always talk about humanity and justice, but we have to think that the real pain that inhumanity causes. So we have to be really focused and united. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm really glad that you mentioned this, because see, we've had a lot of films, because genocide hota hai, right? Like, human brutality hoti hai, और ये मायने नहीं रखता कि कितने लोग मारे गए हैं, मायना ये रखता है कि लोग मारे गए हैं. That is the main crux of it. Unfortunately, in the case of the Kashmir Files, there have been a lot of I've seen a lot of discussions on social media which drags and says, oh, it's a propaganda film and all of that. But yet these are the same people that would accept this Schindler's List, which they should, because it talks about the persecution of Jews, and they suffered greatly as well. But when it comes to the Kashmir Files, there was that whole element of skepticism. Why do you think these double standards exist, especially when it comes to this persecution story of Kashmiri Hindus? What do you think is that double standards reason, and how do you feel the film can perhaps change that conversation?
I don't understand politics. I'm an actor. I connect with emotions.
Right.
But I want to request these people, first, they should watch the film, because our film is not against any community, any caste, any political party, or any person. It shows the brutal, honest, what really happened in 1990. And I believe one should know about this story, because it's a reminder to all the people of the world to stand united and fight against the brutal acts of terrorism. So that's what we have showed in the film. So they should watch this film and then decide, then talk about this. What we live in a democratic country, we can talk about that, but at least before coming on any conclusion, you should watch the film first.
Yeah. Now, in the film, so Krishna had his Dadaji to speak with. His Dadaji was the I guess that guiding force in his life to awakening the reality around him. So throughout the process of you preparing for the role, did you speak with a lot of Kashmiri Pandits who are survivors? Did you speak with them? Did you get to interact with them before the film?
I'm playing a very confused guy. That, as you know, that my grandfather is saying, he's saying something else, because he has faced that horrible event, or whatever you say, incident. And I received a different kind of narrative from my professor, that Radhika Menon, Pallavi Ji is saying something else. So to work on this character, I had to watch all the videos which was available in public domain to understand their point of views. So I try to be in dilemma all the time, so it should reflect in front of the camera. So I had to feel the pain, and I had to understand the pain, and so I can emote in front of the camera. So yeah, so that's why I watched all kind of videos, and then later when I say monologue, then when I come on that conclusion, that was a different thing. I did lots of research on that. But yeah, before that I was in dilemma, and I was listening all both the narratives. Yeah.
Okay, so you had to listen to everything in order to
Yeah.
bring out that confusion
Yes.
within, that conflict within
Confusion
him.
within. Yeah.
It makes sense actually, because I guess that's what the script required you to do, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that's exactly what your character depicts. And I think it's wonderful कि मैंने actually videos देखे थे जो audience reactions थे, और बहुत सारे कश्मीरी पंडित लोग आए थे देखने के लिए, and there was a few people who actually were crying and they hugged you, Darshan. I mean, for you as a human being to face that as an artist, I mean, I cannot even imagine the emotions you go through. But if you had to describe that sentiment when you witness that reaction, how does that make you feel? As shallow as it sounds, but how does it make you feel?
It was surreal. The kind of response and love I'm getting from them, my character is getting from them, is unmatched. Their hugs, tears, and they have moved me from within. And their blessings in abundance,
Hmm.
that's like, I feel blessed. And I feel blessed to be their voice and do my little bit. And yeah, it's I'm on ninth cloud, you can say, but that's when you receive this kind of love from your audience, and it's heart wrenching also, because they have faced this trauma. But yeah, I
Hmm.
think dukh baatne se badta hai, so I'm glad I could do something for them. Yeah.
And that's what Anupam ji said, I think, in a few of the conferences. He goes like, जब एक सदमा पहुंचता है हम पर, हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते उस सदमा को दूर हटाने के लिए, लेकिन we can just share that grief. And I think that's what Kashmir Files does, doesn't it? It's kind of like saying, look, I acknowledge the pain and I acknowledge what you've gone through, and it's almost an apology to the fact that
Yes.
this community wasn't heard, and I think that's what it does. But Darshan, I mean, speaking more about yourself, आप इस इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सालों से काम कर रहे हो, आपने मुझे कुछ कहना है और तेरे नाम जैसे फिल्मों में काम किया है,
Yeah.
फिर टीवी शोज आया लाइक छोटी बहू, but then obviously 2014 में you got Mary Kom, and that's when the glass ceiling for you broke for you.
Yeah.
9NH10 also proved to be a turning point for your career. So what has been your coping mechanism, I think, within this cutthroat industry as an actor?
You can say hard work. That's it. I wanted to work really hard on my craft, and I knew that if I put my heart and soul in any project, so people would like it. And वही होता है कि जब आप काम कर रहे होते हो, सो जब आप किसी क्राफ्ट पर निखार रहे होते हो, सो मेहनत एक दिन रंग लाती है. So that's what I think happening. I'm doing theater last 15 years. So, which you are watching right now, the monologue, which I did in one take. And
Wow. One
yeah,
thing.
yes,
Wow.
actually, it was the most important and challenging scene for me as an actor.
Yeah.
Uh, the first time when I read the script, I was very excited and nervous about this scene, because I had to perform in a way that it could convey the reality of the Kashmir, where people could connect with it. So, because the monologue is beautifully written, which has lots of historical references. So, I wanted to convince myself before convincing my audience. So, I studied all the historical references, whichever was available in public domain. And since it was a lengthy scene, so my director Vivekji was very kind. He said, "Don't worry, I will shoot this scene in patches within 2-3 days. So in a period of 2-3 days." So I was like, "Okay, sir, but I want to do in one take." Because I wanted to speak from my heart. So it reaches to the heart of the audience. And I'm extremely happy I did that scene in one take.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 25 minutes monologue. Now they had to chop 10 minutes because of the length duration of the film was they have to maintain that. So yeah, but I did in one take, and that's only there.
There's so much information. Actually, Darshan, wo jo monologue hai na, actually it summarizes हमारी जो स्थिति है, actually
Yes,
information के बारे में.
yes,
That's what it does. It really hits it on the head. So for you, आपके लिए भी काफी enlightening experience रहा होगा, because I'm sure आपको भी कुछ चीजें पता नहीं होंगी, right, before doing the film. So I guess it must have been very enlightening for you to understand the information that was given to you in that monologue.
yes. जब मैंने वो पहली बार मोनोलॉग पढ़ा तो मैं रोक नहीं पाया अपने आप को. मैं 13 पेज का मोनोलॉग है वो, मैं पढ़ता ही रहा उसको, और जो जो उसमें लिखा हुआ था, I was surprised कि we didn't know anything. I didn't know. And the same thing is that our audience is feeling the same thing. और मुझे लगा कि जब तक मैं, जैसे मैं उसमें डायलॉग बोलता हूँ, मैंने सुना ललेश्वरी के वाक को, तो मैंने वो सारे वाक सुने हर दिन. जैसे मैंने बोला, मैंने ललितादित्य के शौर्य के पराक्रम को देखा, तो मैंने ललितादित्य की पूरी हिस्ट्री पढ़ी, क्योंकि मुझे पता था कि जब तक मैं कन्विंस नहीं होगा, जब तक मुझे उसका नहीं पता होगा, तब तक बोलते वक्त वो कन्विक्शन नहीं आएगा. So yeah, it's beautifully written, and I'm glad people are liking it. I really worked hard for that monologue.
Gee, honestly, just for that, I want to really give you a round of applause, Darshan. Honestly, I mean, dude, it's not easy at all to do that, because I'm sure you've probably seen the film as well in cinema, but I can tell you there was absolute pin drop silence. The last time I saw such pin drop silence in a climax of a film was probably the the Johar scene in Padmavat.
Yeah.
Like, that's how long it's been since I've seen completely. It was, oh god, it was really powerful also, and I think it's wonderful. But I think I feel like emotional. I feel like जो हमारे emotions होते हैं ना, जब एक very challenging role हम play करते हैं या देखते हैं, I feel it also makes us stronger in many ways as well. So how has Kashmir Files made you stronger as a person? The tough question.
No. I get emotional, so that's why. I believe it has changed me from within. I'm not the same person right now, and like I said, we should respect each other. It shows, we always talk about humanism, justice, and this film shows that the real pain that inhumanity causes. So I believe हमें एक दूसरे से प्यार करना चाहिए, क्योंकि वही सब कुछ है हमारी लाइफ में. We should respect each other, and that's what I started feeling right now, and I'm a different human being now. Yeah.
And can I just tell you one thing, Darshan? Like, and I'm really touched, because I've seen how emotional you get. I've seen a lot of the interviews that you've done, and I've seen how much it affects you. And I think that just goes to show how dedicated you were. I think not just you, but even Anupam sir, Mithun sir, and I think the entire cast and crew of the film were very emotionally invested. And you can tell, audiences are very clever. They can tell when a film is very personal, when it's really told from the heart,
Yes.
But I think just generally, Darshan, एक actor के तौर पर, एक artist के तौर पर, because you said you're not the same as a person now, but how much has it made you aware as an actor now when it comes to doing future projects also? Like, what do you think is that shift now that's happened with you as an artist as well?
I believe today's audience wants to watch all content-oriented, realistic cinema. Thanks to the audience, now our producers and directors are very cautious about what they are making. Now they have to make something which is par with the international cinema, because now audience are watching all international content. So it's a good time and a win-win situation for every actor, director, producer, because it's a new world. So yeah, I'm excited, and now I'm hoping I'll receive some good. I'm already started getting some good projects.
Oh wow!
So yeah, because of right now I'm busy in promotions, I'm not getting time to read them. But yeah, I'll start reading them, So fingers crossed. Let's see, because people like my work, so now responsibilities are on my shoulders. So I have to work really hard for the next project. So I'll choose wisely.
G. I think a final like question actually as well, because I know you have to leave. So going by the major box office success of the Kashmir Files, I mean it's grossed over 100 crores. I mean it's huge. So I think a huge congratulations again to you and the team for that. I mean it's massive. So do you feel like now अब आगे जाके और भी शायद stories हमें देखने को मिलेंगे on the Kashmiri Pandits and what they've gone through? Do you think this will be a great beacon of change now to show that stories of persecution and of genocide can actually also be, can appeal to mainstream audiences now? Do you think that's a great encouragement as well in that sense?
Yes, of course. Numbers are very important for actor, director, producer, for everyone.
Yeah,
because it encourages them to do the same kind of films. Now I think now more directors and producers will come ahead and will make content oriented and realistic cinema. So it's a good thing, and it's good for the industry and good for all of us. Yeah.
Definitely, absolutely, no, very true. And honestly, as I say, Darshan, इस industry में लोग चढ़ते सूरज को सलाम करते हैं. But honestly, I feel like you've always been a fabulous actor. I mean, that's for sure. I loved you even in Sarabjit also. So you've been a great talent, and I think seeing the Kashmir Files, it was so wonderful to see actors like yourself getting that credit, and the fact that you've
Thank you.
brilliantly portrayed what society is in today's generation, and the fact that you've been a part of this really important voice for a very grim chapter of human history. I think it's hats off to you, honestly, and I'm just so thrilled that you could join me today, because I know you're really busy. So thank you so much, Darshan, for joining me.
Thanks, Etan, for having me, bhai. I had a great time talking to you.
Likewise, Darshan, and wishing you all the very best, and I can't wait to watch more wonderful work from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Darshan. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.